I'm like, damn boy.
What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Honda Street Garage. I'm your host, Mark, and today we're going to be working on the EJ1 for the K-swap. If you've been following it, you know basically where we're at. Yesterday I came to the shop, didn't realize that my camera was dead. I went ahead and kind of put all the provisional stuff back together in the engine bay, so I'll show you what I have so far. So you can tell I've put the upper control arms, the suspension in, the brake booster, the brake master cylinder in place. I still have the fuel line, the fuel return line to deal with. Cleaned up the subframe here. If you notice the exhaust is kicking out, I'm gonna have to cut that off. But I went ahead and put the Hosport mount in. Like I said before, I really preferred Hosport for this swap because they're just the best in my opinion as far as mounts are concerned. But what's great is they also send you the hardware. So we got fresh, clean hardware right there. In another video, I showed you how to install this bracket. And so now I've installed it. I've put the two bolts here and drilled them in. And here's the mount that goes on top, but I'll show you underneath. So like I said, Hosport provides you the hardware. These bolts drilled through the 14 millimeter spot where the torque mount usually goes. But then you also put these nuts on top of it to just secure it even more. I mean, that's a pretty straightforward, simple process, honestly. This kit is brilliant. Now, as I mentioned in a video before, I'm using the K2 mounts. If you don't know, allow you to change the position of the engine, whether you want more hood clearance or ground clearance, or you're running a K24 or a K20. So if you notice, there's two holes right there. Because I'm using this in a K20 application, I'm using the top hole. So for the transmission mount, I'm using this flipped up. If I were gonna use a K24, I'd flip it over. It bolts right there, obviously. And for the rear, the bracket actually has two different holes in it so that you can, you know, change the position. Now, one of the other things a lot of people have asked about is the brake tuck that this car has. It's kind of a, I guess you'd call it a half brake tuck. But basically, we ran new lines from the master cylinder down to the 440 proportioning valve, and then ran a new line over to the side here, and then up into the side here. You can see it coming out right here. And what you do is you just use a line basically from AutoZone. You can get it, it's pretty cheap and it's quite easy to do. They sell flare tools. I wish I could show you that right now, but I don't have that to show you. You cut the line, you put the fitting on it, and then you flare it so that the fitting stops and stays on the line. Then you just install it like so. And normally what people will do is send the brake line through the cabin. We didn't really want to do that on this car when we did the brake line. We kind of wanted it to remain factory, sort of hidden, but still functional, I guess. Mainly it was just to kind of get it off the firewall here. This line will be cut, so the firewall should look something like this with the K-series in it. I'm hoping, I know a lot of people probably will make fun of me for saying this, but I'm hoping that eventually I can take this car on the track, you know, one day. That's eventually my plan, if the motor lasts, honestly.
I'm like, damn boy.
Now, as far as the radiator is concerned, I have it mocked up in here. I wanted to just make sure that it was gonna fit. And if you notice, we notched the radiator support for it, and it sits perfectly in it. There is a hole right here that a 10 millimeter bolt bolts right into. Obviously have a beauty washer here. I will remove this and show you where the feet are. If you can see the feet, so I'm gonna pull this off. So it uses an existing bolt hole here, 10 millimeter size. And then you have the feet here, which I think I showed you earlier, which just bolt in, you drill a hole. It's quite brilliant. I tell you what, I'll take it off just to show you guys how this works. So here's like the radiator foot, I guess you call it. Basically, they give you this, I believe K20A2 sells this product, and other companies too, but basically they give you this rubber grommet. If you notice, you see the threads in there. If you see, I drilled a hole here, and what it does is, you just pop this in to the hole, you place the bolt into it. What it does is It as it tightens, it expands that rubber piece and locks it into place, so it is very firm. Same thing with this one. So yeah, they make a lot of sense, and it's very easy to deal with, so that the radiator sits right in there. I decided not to tuck the fuse box because honestly this is a good place as any to have it, and tucking the fuse box is kind of a pain to deal with, and I would prefer to have it in the engine bay just for the future. Okay, so one of the things that I'm doing here is I'm actually putting chase bay's tuck harness in. So I'm shoving this down because I am wire tucking it, but I'm just not wire tucking the fuse box. So this basically has to go down in there like that. And now our engine harness will connect quite simply. Now I got this Chase Bay's harness used from a friend, but it was actually brand new in the box. I would say order a harness from Chase Bay's, but I'm not sure if they make them anymore. I know they've split off and someone else makes the harnesses now. This is a K-Series Chase Bay's harness, and then I have the EG jumper harness, chassis harness, to make it work for the car. Chase Bay's makes great brake line products and power steering stuff, so go check them out. I'm not really sure what else to say because I would promote their harnesses, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it. Okay, so what have I got done? Doesn't look like much, but you know, it's just the little things that matter. I apologize if the fans are too loud. It's hot in here because I live in South Carolina and it's still roughly 85, 90 degrees every day. I've got the grommet in on that side. I've got the grommet in on this side. Obviously you can see the Chase Bay's harness up on the windshield. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put in the K2 no-cut shifter. Now as you can see, I have the bottom plate bolted and it bolts to the 2 bolts where the shift linkage normally goes in the back. However, it appears I need to drill 2 holes for the front, like they should be right around here, so that this guy sits in there. If you could see where these 2 holes go, I've got to get underneath there and drill. Okay, so here it is. You can see it. So I've got the plate on, at least the back of it on, so it places it in its position. There's a bolt there and a bolt there. And now, just drill 2 holes. I don't know if you can see because it's dark underneath here. Just drill a hole here and here through the tunnel here. I'm gonna drill it. I gotta turn the camera off because I really can't hold the camera and face it up. And I'm not 100% sure on the bit size, so it just might take me a minute. I'll be back with you in a second. And we have 2 holes here drilled. I don't know if you can see that. Now I gotta go back up top, put the shifter in place, and then come back down here and try to fit the bolts in through. It's gonna be real fun. Okay, yeah, so here I go. Oh Lord, I hope I did this right. Okay, so I've got it mounted in here. I got the 2 bolts from underneath. Sorry I didn't shoot that. But then they have nuts that go on top to secure these, which I will need to tighten down and then probably have someone underneath. Let me tighten them down. So, here it is. It feels super stable actually. And then let's see what this, see if it'll, oh, that's dope. Actually looks pretty cool with the Circuit Hero. Yeah, let me go get the piece that goes on here and see what it looks like, and we could put our interior back together at least. But, you know, of course, well, actually, I can't. I will get the shifter just to get the full effect. There it is. Okay, so that's with the top of it on. And I got the 6-speed RSX shifter shift knob on. It's not tight, but this is gonna be cool. I really like it. I like the finish of the Circuit Hero non-shift boot, so you can see sort of the mechanicalness of the shifter. It doesn't feel out of place or anything. Seems like it is right where it should be. It's really cool. I'm impressed, actually. All I had to do was drill 2 holes and, you know, you got the... Let's Pretty cool. Okay, so this part is installed. I obviously have to get the cables connected and close the box up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that today. You know, we'll obviously do it here in the next day or two. I am sweating to death. Not only because I'm chubby, because it's hot, which I said before. This K2 no-cut shifter is pretty cool, I gotta admit. K2 shifter fits pretty damn well. Now, I know most of you were like, why didn't you get the, you know, the big track one? One, because it's more expensive, but two, I wanted to be able to retain the stock interior because I have the JDM console piece or the USDM option. I don't even know what you call it. Since I've got all that, I really wanted to, you know, kind of retain the originalness of it if it's possible. So I think that's going to do it for today. I'm hoping in the next day or two, I'm going to get the cables situated, the fuel line situated, and then we got to put a new clutch and flywheel on the motor. One thing after another, step by step. So we're moving closer every day. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click like, and if you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe. If you haven't already, which you probably have if you're watching this, and if you're interested in what's going on here, go through my older videos and catch up and see where we're at. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video, which should be tomorrow, so peace out.